Imagine you walk into a pizza shop and you see multiple employees working there. The process starts with you ordering a pizza, and the process ends when the freshly baked pizza is delivered over to you. Now, wouldn't you want to receive this pizza as quickly as possible? Wouldn't you want your waiting time at the store to be at a minimum? How to optimize the process flow of a product from start to finish is what we had learned in a course entitled Operations Management. Hi, my name is Arjun Chaudhary and welcome to Mission Happiness. Let me share a few concepts that we had learned from this course. Firstly, de-bottleneck. Let's look at the pizza store example once again. So let's say you walk into the store and there are 3 employees working in that store. The first employee is responsible for taking your order and billing. The second employee is responsible for making the pizza dough, putting the sauce and the toppings, and placing it in the oven. Then there is the oven baking time. And lastly, the third employee is responsible for taking the pizza out of the oven, cutting it, putting the final garnishes, and handing over to you. So let's say the first employee who's responsible for billing and ordering takes 5 minutes to do his job. Let's say the second employee who's making the dough and the sauce and the toppings takes an additional 5 minutes to do his job. Then there is the baking time in the oven for the pizza, and let's say that takes about 15 minutes. And then the third and final employee who's responsible for taking out of the pizza out of the oven and cutting it and garnishing and giving it to you takes again 5 minutes. So now, out of all these resources, which component is taking the longest amount of time? Well, it's the baking, which is taking 15 minutes. Now, because the baking is that component in the process which is taking the longest amount of time and is the slowest resource, it is called the bottleneck resource. Now, in order to improve your process flow, you need to improve this bottleneck resource and attend to it. So in our example, one way of attending to the bottleneck resource would essentially be buying a new oven and reducing, let's say, your baking time from 15 minutes to 7.5 minutes, thereby increasing the throughput of your process, which is the number of pizzas you produce in an hour, and that will consequently increase the revenue of your organization, reduce customer wait time, leading to happy customers and better customer service. Now let's look at the next concept, which is capacity utilization. Now, you may think that if a factory is operating at 100% capacity, it is ideal. However, the golden rule is that your capacity should be at 80%. That is the golden rule. Let me share why. Because you want to be able to essentially be capable of handling surges in demand and unforeseen circumstances. You want to have that buffer. So let's take the example of the pizza store. So let's say your pizza store is operating at 100% capacity, and suddenly one night your home city ice hockey team wins the Stanley Cup finals. Now there are many families in that city who want to celebrate this joyous moment by ordering pizzas from your store. Now, if your pizza store is already at 100% capacity, you have no room to maneuver your operations to cater to the sudden surge in demand. And hence, this will lead to unhappy customers and loss of future customers. So all I'm trying to say is that in order to improve the operations of your organization, you have to be able to identify your bottleneck resource and operate your organization at 80% capacity. And this can be highly beneficial to your organization. Remember, happiness is the key to success. I'm Arjun Chaudhary.